Adventure with motion picture camera and airplane. That was the life of Martin Johnson, who flew and filmed with his wife Osa. He was a pioneer of motion pictures and aircraft in exploration. In the study of remote places, he preferred to make his record for the screen. In traversing desert and jungle, he preferred the sky route. Martin Johnson was the popular naturalist. In Africa with Osa, he made a memorable series of adventure and wild animal pictures. Before that, in their early exploring days, they had been in Borneo, which had left an abiding memory. So 18 years later, they returned with camera and plane to the Isle of the Impossible. Their culminating adventure and culminating picture, and their last. They came home to bitter, ironic fatality. Martin said he always felt safer in the wilds than in civilized places. Just after arranging the production of this picture, he and Osa took an airliner to California. It crashed. Martin killed, Osa injured. He pioneered an exploration with plane and film. He perished in a plane at home and left behind this, his greatest film, Borneo. Geography dictated their first exploit. From Singapore, the crossroads of the world, their destination was the other side of Borneo, across the China Sea, then across the giant Savage Islands by the sky route. In that plane, they flew on many a great adventure in their African years. Now it is to be the spirit of Africa winging across Borneo. Osa spies the island of the lepers, where victims of the dread malady are segregated and kept apart. Now they have crossed the China Sea, but that was the least of this flight. Because it was wings across Borneo, that island of primitive ferocity which gave its name to the traditional wild men. Legendary with the terror of Dayak pirates, a jungle land of headhunters. No such flight had ever been made before. So perilous, the British authorities said no, and at first refused a permit. Borneo is divided between the British and the Dutch. There's Sandakan, capital of British North Borneo, the only colony governed by a chartered company. They were not looking for towns. So on over the jungle, teeming with the fantastic life that makes this the Isle of the Incredible. The Kimabatangan River, that's their adventure trail. Far up the stream, they will find the darkest depth. So follow the Kimabatangan. It's a stem winder. It winds all over the place. The rivers in Borneo are like that, meandering almost in circles. Looks like a lawn, carefully mowed. But those trees tower 200 feet high, giant walls of equatorial foliage. The destination of this expedition is the deepest and darkest jungle of all, a remote place, the maximum of wilderness. Waterways are about the only way that they can get anywhere in this world of towering thickets. The rivers, likewise, are the only landing fields, and pilot Jim Laneri had better be skillful, here where the flying fields are jungle streams. The river dwellers here are the Murus. Along the coast, the natives are of the Malay race, sea-roving conquerors. Here in the interior are the older and more primitive tribes. Headhunters they used to be, and maybe still are. Osa finds their language utterly strange. But a stroke of luck. Martin finds one of the Murus who has been to Sandakan among the English there.
How are you?
Oh, I'm all right. How are you? So you speak English, huh? Where'd you learn to speak English?
I'm small boy, I was working at Sandakan.
Oh, and you learned there from the white people, huh? How'd you like to go along with me as interpreter?
Yes,
huh?
I like.
You like to go,
Yeah,
would you, huh?
yeah.
What's your name?
Logan.
Logan, huh? How much money you want?
Plenty.
Oh, you want plenty, do you? All right, I think maybe you can go with me. That'll be fine.
Expedition headquarters is to be deep in the jungle. So push on. Snakes, flying snakes, serpents on wings. This island of the unimaginable abounds in reptiles. They're weird, fascinating. They're poisonous, not so fascinating. And they fly. The Murrows have told Martin about a place abounding with strange equatorial life. Look out for the equatorial life. There's some of it. Osa is brave, not afraid of a mouse, but that's no mouse. The blowgun, the native weapon, poisoned arrow. What's that aim? Jaw transfixed by the dart tipped with venom. The Murrow marksman knows the poison is doing its deadly work. They cut their way for hours to the haunt of jungle life that the natives have talked up so highly.
Say, Logan, wait a minute. What do you think about this place?
Well, I think it'll be awfully pretty when it's cleared.
This will be a fine place. Now, Logan, you go tell the boys to come around here and cut all this down, huh? We'll cut 2 or 3 acres. We'll make a fine camp here. Just get all their knives, their tankers, get them here. Go on,
Yes, sir.
Utah, you go with me. Huh? We'll look around while you're gone.
See what's over there.
Wait a minute. Look over there.
Haunt of jungle life is right. River monkeys. And here they are to establish their home, a laboratory for the popular naturalist. The tropical green abounds with the creatures of the wild. The rare Borneo deer. Here they'll make their headquarters and film with infinite cunning and care shy, wary beasts like this. And curious birds, like the white heron. Osa, home builder as well as explorer, knows that this is to be their household for long months to come. The Borneo jungle is hot, humid, rainy, insect-ridden, and teeming with reptiles. Some of the Borneo tribes are rated the laziest people on earth. Work of any kind bores them to tears. Their principal activity is boating, cockfighting, and gambling. In the bad old days, they were known to wax strenuously energetic while headhunting. They're not so handy at handicraft. It isn't the camera that makes the slow motion. It's just busy Borneo. And that's not handicraft, it's footwork. Fingers so lazy, they let the toes do it. As a headhunter, he's a footworker. The height of activity, a nap in the afternoon. They believe that work is for the dogs. They build a raft out of rattan, bamboo, jungle wood.
Here. Better put another piece of bamboo right up here. Understand? Right here, huh? Right here.
The forest abounds with valuable timber, some of the hardest on earth, like ironwood. And the Murrows are skilled in watercraft. Born rivermen.
We better get about 2 more logs along here. Great big fella, so as to hold this down solid. All right?
So this is headquarters for the Martin Johnson expedition, a bit of America in the equatorial forest. a sturdy bungalow with a sound roof and a sturdy finished raft. Borneo is split by the equator, a land of immense tropical rainfall. It has no wet or dry season, only wet. To the Morote natives, this Johnson jungle home is a place of endless wonders, home of white man's magic. They come here for reasons of sorcery, and they take Martin for a medicine man.
Great guns, what's that coming? Logan.
Sick head hunter.
The sick headhunter, huh? Well, he sure looks sick. What's the matter with him?
Toothache.
Toothache, yes. Well, I don't know anything about a toothache. I can't help it any. I'm not a dentist.
There's got one dentist near the river, sir.
How do you know?
This morning I heard he's coming.
Well, is he a good dentist?
But he's a dentist.
Oh, he's a dentist, huh? How are we going to get him?
Put one leg near the river, he will stop.
All right, you go put up a plane.
All right.
You take the fellow with you. I don't want to see any more of him.
The dentists do come to these parts. This one has journeyed up from Sandakan, so he has a sign in English and Chinese. The Chinese go everywhere. They penetrate into the remotest wilds of the East Indies, plying their craft, including tooth pulling. They are known to put a gold cap on any native tooth, whether it needs one or not. Here's dentistry that makes a dent. And now you'll see what makes the wild man of Borneo wild. Osa has been out exploring on her own, and she's caught a fish. I wonder if she's found this site is as wonderful as the natives said it was. Is it really such an abounding haunt of the wild animal life of the tropical forest? Are there strange birds and beasts here? Are there monkeys? Osa yells, yes, a house full of monkeys. And out she chases them, monkeys, monkeys, and monkeys. Even a lady explorer becomes just an indignant housewife when she finds her front parlor full of monkeys. Osa is incensed. She chases them in wild confusion. On your way, monks, and don't you stop. Well, there's no stopping them. They think Osa is still after them. These are river monkeys, agile at jumping and swimming. They are equally at home in the treetops and in the river. They shine at high jumping, they shine at swimming. Monkey shine. As high divers, they're not particular either. They don't need water at the other end of the jump. Dry land or hard rock will do just as well. They dive into a cement pool before the water was let in and like it. Scientists say that there's some element of flying in this, a gliding suggestion of the flying squirrel. They use their tails for balancing, tail swinging around, suggesting a gyroscope. They seem to spread their bodies with some sort of gliding effect. If you don't believe it, you try high diving onto the hard earth. The Morotes lead the way to a water hole.
There's the place, huh? Well, it looks good to me.
Yes, it's a pretty place. The light's good. You know the natives say that lots of animals come down here to drink.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to look around in the jungles, too. I think there's other places probably around here.
Ah, gibbon, smallest anthropoid ape. The only one whose nose has a bridge. And a brock monkey, also a baby orang. And then a red monkey. Yes, this campsite seems to be okay. Right 100% for filming animal life. And Borneo has owls, wise birds something like our own, and some the like of which you've never seen before. Here's old Sourpuss, a regular Borneo screw. The cuscus is a cute little cuss. A lemur with wide eyes and little vacuum cups on his feet. Sucker. Why, he can walk right up a plate of glass. And here's the way you have to drink in Borneo.
Gosh, I'm thirsty, sweetheart. I could drink anything. Hurry up and cut it.
Water is dangerous to drink, as the old soap says. Rivers, mountains, streams, or even crystal springs here may be contaminated. But the water is pure in the water vine. The stem has a vein of the most salubrious H2O. The vine means wine, but it means water in Borneo, Isle of the topsy-turvy. This water hole is a treasure ground for the popular naturalist. Honey bears with thick fur, protection from the stings of the jungle bees. The Brock monkey. Borneo is a dominant haunt for the primates from the tiny simians to the great apes. And to the water hole come wild pigs. The attraction here is not only water, but also salt. Both a water hole and a salt lake. Surely an ideal location for the camera blind, where from camouflage the telescope lens can study wildlife. The Borneo civet cat, the largest close relation of the common domestic feline, twice as big as the American house cat. A playground for jungle life. And the Brock monkey is renowned as the most playful of its kind. To him, the civet cat is just kitty kitty. The spectacle monkey, another odd fellow in this monkey paradise. Mr. and Mrs. Gibbon always drink like that, even in a zoo with all civilized conveniences. He gets the habit from life in the treetops, where finger drinking gathers the rainwater on the foliage. Those two quaint chaps are not Borneo monkeys at all. They're from Sumatra. And how did they get here? Well, the expedition brought them along, as if there were not enough monkeys in Borneo. But that type is especially interesting because of its extraordinary voice. That fellow is a siamang, not a monkey at all, really. He's an anthropoid gibbon. The extraordinary thing about the siamang is the huge pouch that he has under his jaws, like great flabby jowls. That's part of his vocal equipment. Filled with air, the pouch can produce a tone of its own, an auxiliary to the lungs. When the siamang wants to do some special singing, jungle caruso stuff, with an equatorial love song, he punches his pouch to project an added tone. A deer can't scratch his ear, but a siamang is great at picking out pigs. This haunt of the jungle creatures is like an animal man's dream come true. But dreams come more than true in Borneo. This thing was brought into camp by the natives who got it from far, far up the river. just a baby. A dream come doubly, triply true. Proboscis monkeys, rarest of the rare, and they're being fed the unaccustomed way. With infinite patience, Osa keeps them alive. No proboscis monkey has ever been kept alive in any civilized zoo.
Come on, little
Far away in the depths of the jungle, way upstream, there, they say, is a whole colony of those rarest of simians, a whole town of proboscis.
You stop it. You stop it. Bad little nose. Bad little chicken.
Already, while Osa feeds the babies, preparations are being made for a proboscis hunt.
Oh, stop shaking your head. Just a crybaby, that's all you are. Yes, just a crybaby.
A Chinese junk is pressed into service for the river voyage from here on. Off on a scouting tour, pilot Jim Laneri has been making an air survey of the upper reaches of the stream. Putting the plane away, Jim reports forbidding wilderness, stupendous jungle, and the river just a winding maze of treacherous backwater. He doesn't know if a boat can possibly get through it. But never mind the peril. Here we go, we're on our way. Off by junk and by raft. How could you hold Martin Johnson back when there are proboscis monkeys to be filmed? The Murut Rivermen are great paddlers, slender built, marvelous on endurance and stamina. Family life on a junk, as up the river we pass native houses on stilts. On stilts to be safe from reptiles and safe from floods. The women more than do their share out here in Borneo, and as for these Chinese junks, well, they penetrate everywhere. The jungle is growing more dense now, almost impenetrable thicket. On and on we go in the quest for the proboscis monkey deep in his forest lair. Martin makes sure his camera is in good shape by shooting a picture or two of Osa. Osa returns the compliment, checking up on her own camera by shooting one of Martin's. We're in a dark backwash of the Borneo River now. The canoes will have to explore this, so it's paddle and song, the Kimabatangan boatman song. One reason why the proboscis monkey is so rare is because it feeds exclusively on the shoots of young palm along the river bank, the nipa palm. Now what do we see? Dense groves of nipa palm. So we're nearing our goal. It won't be long until we're in Proboscisville. So up the river and paddle on, boys. Now we need a scientist. We need a zoologist. So I present that eminent naturalist, Professor Lou Laird.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. So little is known about the proboscis family that nobody can check up on, I speak freely. In this rare community of dwibblepuses, family life is very human. Little Junior, whose schnozzle is yet only a nozzle, climbs trees like a monkey, while Mama, with a dainty lady-sized beezer, serves a spring salad lunch to all the little hose noses. Outside of using them for sneezing, snoring, and sniveling, no other reason has ever been found for the super colossal schmeller. The Durante family, the proboscis family, is very heavy eaters. It takes a lot of jungle hors d'oeuvres to wear them out. Notice the perfect rhythm of their snoots, how the nose beats time with a masticate, zip, swing it, sister. Human beings always connect noses with being curious, inquisitive. But these Borneo scoop noses is very exclusive. With a puss like theirs, you wouldn't be a good mixer either. These are the faces that you always remember, but you don't know where to put them. Everything ain't always hunky-dooley with a proboscis family. They're like any other married people. So far, you ain't seen the papa here. He's late for dinner again. That's why Mama is always looking around. Only Grandpapa is home to protect them. Hey, Grandpa. You got a flat. Still Papa ain't home yet. He must be out with the boys again, drinking palm juice. Yep, she sees them on the front steps. Blasters. Look at that souse. He just stuck his nose in the lodge and they filled it up. Ain't you ashamed? Disgracing the family. I hope you get hay fever. Yeah, Mama, that's him. Hide the children. He's coming out of it. No, he ain't sick. He's just got the nose jitters. Look how it twitches. If he hiccups, it would knock his teeth out. Boy, is he in the doghouse. She's so mad, she wouldn't care if Grandpop zocked him in the nose. And I wouldn't give Grandpop any credit if he missed it. Look, now he's got the DTs. He sees little pink men running around. Tomorrow, he'll say it was something he ate, no doubt. Grandpop is furious. Ain't it strange that monkeys with noses like Grandpop smell just the same as other monkeys? Everybody knows that monkeys don't have fleas. Everybody but the monkeys. So little Ludwig gets his once-over light as the family ignores the souse completely. All but Grandpop, he never forgets. He's got a mind like an elephant and a nose pretty near. Even that, the world's greatest sinus stiffs don't know whether the monkeys grow these noses or these noses grow the monkeys. Look, Schnazola Durante is still at it. Ha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. So Palm Juice Jake comes out of it, empties the icebox, and wonders what the chances is to go back with his family. Heavy, what a hangover. But even as you and us, he's still in the doghouse. She won't talk. So what? So he goes back to the lodge for more palm juice.
I guess we don't need the professor now. More in keeping would be a teller of tales of fantastic terror. From this point on, the Martin Johnson expedition is bound for the headhunter country. This type of native boat is called a gobong, essentially a dugout, primitive but well adapted to navigating the streams and shallows of the Borneo jungle. Borneo water turkey. The endless walls of jungle unfold. The equatorial forest of palms and ironwood, and equally hard, the tembasu, bamboo and rattan, and the spreading banyan tree. All dominated by the towering tipang tree, monarch of the jungle. Martin and Osa called this the most beautiful scenery they had ever beheld. Beauty, yes, and fantastic. Here in this isle of the undreamable, nature plays some of her weirdest pranks. We're approaching one now, and Frank is right. A freak of nature. Explorers have told of the tree-climbing fish. They've described these creatures of paradox, and it all sounded like a traveler's fable. But here they are, actually filmed. What is the scientific explanation? Tell us, Professor.
Thank you. With tree-climbing fish, science is stumped. The only time I saw things like these before was after a couple of bottles of schnapp. Only the ones I saw, you could make disappear with aspirin tablets, isn't?
They're real fish, too, and not exaggerated tadpoles or lizards. These are precisely the same order of life as trout, swordfish, or sea bass. They've become adapted to the conditions of the Borneo jungle, sudden floods, pools that swiftly dry up, fish left stranded on land. Nature has adapted them to that, and as the shore is a tangle of trees, branches, and roots, the fish have got used to the trees. This is a living example of the probable way that terrestrial beings came into existence on this planet. The swarming life of the ocean creeping out on the land. Fish accommodating themselves to life out of the water. You can imagine how in an eon of time, these paradoxical creatures may lose the way of the water altogether and develop into creatures of the land. And sure enough, they actually climb into the lower branches of the trees. So they are tree-climbing fish. They're a tall story come true, but then so is all Borneo. And now, on with the journey to the headhunters, deeper into the jungle. Like a dank cavern, some gloomy river of the netherworld in Dante's Inferno. Here we find no light, fantastic mood of tree-climbing fish.